Hello everyone, welcome to Right Views. I'm Rahul. Today we are going to talk about the coronavirus. So what is the coronavirus? Now I'm not a doctor or a medical expert, so I've put together a table to compare coronavirus with other epidemics across various parameters. You can have a look at it here. Now the first parameter I want to highlight is the transmission rate. Now transmission rate means how many people one person can infect, and in case of coronavirus it is about 2.5 to 4, which means that it is an exponentially transmissible disease. Now that means when you have a few infected people, the number of cases can increase very fast. The second parameter is the mortality rate. Now in case of coronavirus, the mortality rate thankfully seems to be low. However, since the disease itself infects many people and the spread is exponential, the absolute number of people who are at risk will be higher. Now the third important parameter is the incubation time. Now incubation time is the time required from the day I get infected to the day I start showing symptoms. Now this period for coronavirus is estimated to be between 7 to 14 days. Earlier it was estimated between 14 to 27 days. Now at the moment it seems to be 7 to 14 days. Now it means that during first 7 to 14 days, an infected person will show no symptoms and he will go about regularly doing his work. And that is why the case count remains subdued. Now the next parameter actually adds the risk to coronavirus. Now it is called asymptomatic transfer. Now generally in past pandemics, what we have seen is once the person shows the signs of the symptoms of the disease, only then he starts transmitting. So if I'm having a fever, only then I will be able to spread this virus. However, in the coronavirus case, we have seen in instances of asymptomatic transfer, so people being able to spread the disease without showing any symptoms themselves. Now this makes it even more risky because I might be spreading the disease without knowing that I'm an infected person. That is also the reason why the number of cases have spread really fast. The next parameter which is important is the serious complication rate. Now serious complication rate means the number of people out of the infected people who need hospitalization or intensive medical care in the form of ICU and other advanced medical care. Now in this case it is about 15 to 20%, which is broadly in line with other diseases, but it is still high. And considering the exponential spread of this disease, we might have an instance where quickly the public health system can be overwhelmed. That is why it is very important to understand these numbers. And finally, coronavirus tends to affect the elderly and the very young more than normal adults. So will coronavirus come to my country? Now trade channel forms the dominant way in which virus or disease or ideas also travel. And let us look at this trade channel as it exists today. Now as you know, the virus originated in Wuhan. In first phase, it covered all the entire China. And in the next phase, if you see the countries surrounding China, they have shown infections. So it is logical to estimate that this will spread to further and further countries along this trade channel. And the further you are, the later you will see the virus in your country. Now initially, you may not see many cases. And that may be because you are farther out in this supply chain, or that the disease is already there but it has not manifested. Now this is precisely because of the exponential character that we have discussed, and second, it is because of the incubation period being very long, and third, the asymptomatic transfer. So the virus is actually active in your area but you are not seeing it, and once a few days passed, the critical threshold is achieved, you may suddenly have cases, a few more cases, and the cases will start multiplying and accelerating very fast. We have seen this in the case of South Korea. We are now seeing it in the case of Italy, and we may and we are watching whether we see it in case of France and Spain. This is a very critical feature of this virus. This exponential increase in the infections and case count creates panic. But what we want is intelligent preparedness, which means you have to stock up on basic essentials, you have to have basic medicines, you have to have face masks, you have to have tissues and sanitizers ready, and you have to practice good hygiene, which means washing your hands properly. And if you have cough and cold, wear a face mask so that it doesn't spread to anyone else. If you, despite all this care, if you show symptoms of coronavirus, go and see a doctor and take the guidance from there. So we have compiled a small booklet which also gives you some of the handouts given by various agencies to help curb the spread of this virus. Also included in that download are the charts and tables that we have seen in this video. Be sure to download it and share it. And if you have any further tips and additions to that, please include it in the comments below. The link for the download is in the description. So that is about coronavirus. Now in the further videos, we will be discussing the economic impact and the market reaction. To stay updated, please subscribe to our channel and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at these handles, and be sure to like this video. Thank you very much.